Okay, so Leslie and I were talking earlier, and to be honest, the last few weeks has been a little bit tougher for us to figure out what the heck to present on because even with newer people coming on board and stuff, I feel like we have so many videos, especially on our YouTube page, that people can utilize now. We don't want to, keep beating over like the same info that a lot of us already know. So tonight we're going to do things a little bit different, but we did want to start with our team shout outs from this last weekend. And so Terry worked 2 different events, and so she raised a total of over 2,600 bucks. I thought that it was awesome because she was like, yeah, please don't bring up last weekend. And I'm like, hey girl, like anytime you raise over $1,000, that's great, So I'm like, keep your chin up. Terry kills it all the time, so I'm sure that the numbers that she was able to pull were probably the best that anybody was going to be able to do at those events. So great job, Terry. Ryan, who is brand new to our California team, we're really excited to have him. And Ryan, if you have a second, we weren't sure exactly what you raised, but we know that you're doing pretty darn well out there for your first Hero Day. Do you mind popping on really fast and kind of sharing your experience and what you ended up with?
Yeah. So my first day was you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. My first day was in San Juan Capistrano at the San Juan Hills Golf Club. I was out on hole 9. I raised just over $1,600. Yeah, it was a good day, I would say.
Okay, awesome. And what sort of things did you take away from that day that you think like helped you be successful? Maybe just like a tip, for like the rest of the team.
I think, your energy has a lot to do with it. Like, of course, like obviously if you don't talk to people, you're not going to get any donations.
Yeah.
But just like the way you present it, just trying to convey that empathy with people. Because, something I've noticed is a lot of those people on those golf courses, a lot of them have seen, other elite members before.
Yeah.
A lot of them are veterans. A lot of those people out there on the golf course every week are veterans, so you really need to be able to convey, a sense of understanding and, like how much, this kind of cause means to those people. And you don't have to convey it just to them, obviously. If you can convey that same message to everybody else that's on that course, you'll do really well.
No, I love that. It's always nice to get a fresh perspective from somebody new, so thank you for just hopping on, and amazing job at your first event with us. We're super excited to have more help in California.
Thank you.
Then Miss Savannah Page, she raised over $1,500 doing TSP at a tournament in the desert this weekend for us. And I was worried, at first that it was going to be blazing hot, out there being like the last weekend of September, but they experienced wind and they were all bundled up in jackets and trying to keep their hair down and, keep their tents from blowing away. So amazing job being able to push through, Savannah. She's been doing great, and she's brand new with us in SoCal as well. The Gallaghers continuously have been raising 3,000 plus at events, so we wanted to make sure we gave them a shout out. Great job and congratulations, you guys. Like, we love seeing any numbers you guys pull in. We're always excited. And Noelani is probably on the call, but most likely in the car. She went out to an event for us in Vegas today and raised over $3,000 doing the Krank hole. And so I'm like, amazing job. Thank you for driving, several hours to this event. And while she was there, she set up a demo day with that golf course, I believe, right, Noelani, if you're on?
Yeah, they're really they're excited to have us because they just love the Krank drivers. And Chad used to be one of our reps or I'm sorry, not reps. He was a long drive contender. I guess he is a champion, isn't he, Audra? One of the long drive.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
remember if he's a champion or what, but I know he hits a
yeah.
lot for the events that they host at the golf course that he works at. So it works out well for him, I'm sure.
It was so fun watching everybody going, I beat the pro, I beat the pro. And he was just like, okay, settle down. But um, yeah, it was really fun. It was a great day.
Oh, well, great job. You were always killing it out there and doing the most, driving all over the place. So thank you. And Miss Tracy, we don't get to see her name pop up that often. She has a full-time job now, but I'm like, it's so nice that when she does cover for us in California, she just absolutely kills it out there. She raised just under $2,900 at the LAPD SWAT event last week. So amazing job, Tracy, and thank you for representing us so well. Moving on, we have been talking a lot about creating a better sense of community, with Elite, and I feel like that's kind of hard to do since a lot of us are not in like the same area, right? And so we have, gosh, Arizona, Colorado, Florida, California, Nevada, all, people from all different states that are on our team. And so really we're hoping to look towards more of like our TMs with our help as well. But we would love to help set up either monthly or bi-monthly team meetups, just so that people are getting to know each other more and we aren't just, only contacting each other to help with coverage and making money at golf tournaments. And so we would really love to get something on the books. And of course, every month people aren't going to always be available. And so that's why we actually split up some of the team chats today too, is to give everybody the best, I guess, like advantage to be able to make some of these meetups. So whether it's like a range meetup or getting golf lessons or, going to Top Golf or a simulator, we were thinking, Leslie and I were talking about doing like a themed party for like Halloween or something, but we definitely encourage everybody on our team to set these things up in their own state. Michael Clancy will get you a team here soon so that it isn't a party of one in Arizona. And for Mark out in Nevada as well. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? I'm like, I'd love to get some like feedback and we can help you guys with like the planning and all that too.
And we also thought too, it would be fun to maybe do like a bi-yearly month or a bi-yearly meetup, maybe in each region too, maybe doing like a golf tournament or a golf tournament and a bowling tournament, or a meeting somewhere thrown in there as well in one of the regions, to where we all fly out. Whoever wants to be there can fly out as well. Sorry, my dog is scratching at the door right now. She really wants to come inside. It's getting colder out here, but something like that as well on top of this. So we would love to hear your thoughts if that's something you guys would do. If you'd want to do that, just like Audra said. So we'd love to hear from you.
I love it. Let's do
great.
it.
Sorry.
Yay. Okay, good. I'm like, we were hoping for that response too, but again, we just want to really work on, us creating more of like a community within our own company. And I feel like that'll only help us branch out, find more people and grow. So I'm like, the goal is to help as many charities and obviously help our own hero program as much as possible too. So the more that we're all on the same page and we're bringing in new awesome people that are on, the same page as all of us, that's going to help everybody. So we'll keep everybody, informed, and we'll probably ask for some dates here per GroupMe chat as well, so that we can hopefully get everybody involved. But yay for some good feedback on that. And so opening, I guess, like the conversation up for tonight, we want to know from you guys, like, where can we help more, and so with either your goals or, next steps, if you're brand new, like a couple people on the call tonight, what kind of support do you feel like you need in our 4, main sections of our company now? And I know banquet programs is brand new. I've been pushing these a lot more with events, and it's been pretty easy to add them, which has been really nice. But we'd love any sort of feedback, whether it's Jason in Southern California was like, I need help, getting more yeses on tournament calls, or Terry, saying that she might need one more day going around to courses so that she can feel confident going and closing them herself. But if you guys don't mind unmuting yourselves and letting us know, we want to help. We want to write down notes, and that'll hopefully help us for even our next team call so that we can best help the entire team together. Don't everybody go at once.
Michael Clancy, I feel like you always have something to say. Is there anything that you need help with out there in terms of booking tournaments, closing hero courses, Krank Golf sales, and banquet programs?
I would like to see more information on the banquet programs personally.
Okay.
I was under the impression that Jay and Amanda were going to be on tonight's call to go through some of that. Was that not the original plan?
So they were supposed to be on our call tonight, as well as David Wills' team call to go over more information on the savings passes. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I saved our team a little bit tonight because we've already gone through it so many times. We have multiple, videos and trainings over just the savings passes. But yeah, we could always have Jay hop on and share more information. The banquet programs are on our deck now, which was sent out via email to everybody if my email went through. I've been having problems, but yeah, do you have any questions or anything you want us to cover right now that could be helpful?
Just run through the banquet program one more time, because I've only seen it one time and I did not get a chance to get into the CRM on it.
Okay, yeah. So really there's 3 different types of banquet programs, and the way that Jay originally explained it was that you would try to do all 3. But keep in mind you don't have to. So he was saying in a perfect, scenario, you would start off by introducing the hero crank drivers. Those bids start at, or they can make money over $450, right, Leslie?
Yeah,
And
440.
yeah, $449, and then they'll basically have a bidding war, but you're supposed to keep in the back of your mind that you can give out multiples. So the idea would be, have a couple people going back and forth, say they get over 1,000 or a few thousand, however much that might be, and then go back to a few of them that did get up pretty high and let them know that they can also help out that charity or organization by still getting a driver. From there, then you could go into the Cancun banquet option as well, which is where I've been living and breathing with just Cancun, so you guys know. You can have people battle it out the same way. The starting bid would be at $200, but the way that I've been doing it at a couple events recently, and I have an event this next week that I'm doing one at, is anybody in the room that raises their hand for $200, they can all get one. And so Jay really felt like even if they battle it out, what are you going to pull in? Maybe, just over $1,000, where you might have 20 or 30 hands go up for $200 each. And now you just pulled in way more money all at one time. And then the last piece would be introducing the savings pass. So the tough part about that is you'd have to have it completely set up before you go into the banquet with the QR codes and everything set for that charity. But anybody that signs up for $9.99 a month would get the savings pass automatically, and it's so cheap. Who wouldn't do it? I know Noelani and I have both been to the Forgotten Children Inc. golf tournament several times, and they always have envelopes that pretty much do the same thing. You can sign up for a monthly donation, just do one. And even though I'm at golf tournaments and their banquets all the time, I always give money for them. It's an amazing cause that helps, people that get put into what's the word, trafficking. And so they help women, children, but anybody and everybody as well. And so that would be your last attempt, and it's only $9.99.
Okay, question for you on the Cancun trips at a banquet. How do you approach that when you've already been out there on the golf course trying to get them to donate and get a Cancun trip for $50 or whatever your particular situation is?
Yeah.
How are you bringing that up? Because they've already said, I'm not interested.
Yep. You guys already asked me once. So that has come up in conversation for sure. The 2 times that Jay has done it himself, in the last couple of weeks, he said it wasn't a problem at all, and that he was surprised that every single person had been pitched out on the course with either Sally or whoever was working the hole that day, and that they still ended up getting them later on at the banquet. I don't feel the same way. That makes me very nervous unless you're just telling them that this is like their last and final chance to get one, and that's why you've now doubled that price essentially, making it, a $200 minimum to grab it. But I think that it would probably be best to only have Cancun at the banquet. And I would just stick to like the savings passes or like the normal way, of doing a crank it hole or a hero hole without them, because you can pull in so much of the banquet later on. But it is a gamble. We're trying to collect as much data off of that as possible. So I'm hoping that people will try it and then let us know what their experience was, because our on-course are going to do really well regardless of Cancun being tied in.
Audra,
Yeah.
I know that at a couple of our tournaments, like Terry would go up and she like spoke about it and would say like, hey, if there's anybody else that would like to, get this, see me in the back. I've even had people come up to me and say, hey, can I still get that? Because we announced it. So I know that a lot of people don't even hear you out on the course. They don't even get it. It's their mind has to process it a little bit.
Yeah.
Drinking
Also-
too, that doesn't hurt.
Also, people that are not golfing come to the banquet. So you have people that come just for the banquet that didn't get to hear that. So
That's such a good point.
No, that's an excellent point.
Well, think about this too. People who are drinking and who are eating and who are around their friends that are around an auction kind of setting are not going to want to outdo, or they're going to want to outdo their friends at a banquet setting, right? So it is a different setting when you're at the banquet, when they're surrounded by 200 people, than when they're around their best friends at a hole, right? So if you are,
That's true.
if you are doing this at an auction setting, so to speak, you have to keep in mind this is completely different than when you're out on the hole. So I would do both. If I were you, I would try for both, and I would tell the charity, hey, you know what? We're going to do both because they're two separate entities. There's one entity and we're going to sell a bunch. We're going to give a lot away on this hole, but then we're going to give away one, and we're going to give away however many at your banquet because we want to help the charity raise as much money as we can. And people are going to go nuts over it because they're going to be eating, they're going to be drinking, and they're going to have that competition in mind with each other. So I don't know. That's my take on it. I think it's a trial and error process.
Could I ask a question? If let's say I'm doing a crank it hole, okay, and out on the hole I'm asking for $50 for the Cancun trip. I get up to 30, sometimes over 30 people who want to do the trip. Then I go into the banquet and I'm going to ask them for $200 for a Cancun trip.
Yeah.
Is that the price that we have? Maybe we can't say $100 or $150. I mean, is $200, is that the fixed price that we're using?
The main goal that Jay's been trying to have us come to is really they want the savings passes to go for 50 and the Cancun trips to go for 100, but they haven't made that like formal announcement to anybody. I have honestly been pushing back on that the most likely, because it really has helped our numbers so much. And so my thought would be same thing with drivers, right? So if you buy a driver today for me, you should get this discount, but if you wait, then you're probably going to pay a little bit more, right? Otherwise it takes away like that excitement, that factor of them getting it right then and there. So then I would think the same thing for the Cancun trips is, hey, you should have grabbed it for me on the hole, because now at the banquet, the price has gone up for one last push for this charity. The big piece is going to be whatever that charity is like fundraising for. So if you're bringing up, I just did one and got on the mic. I was so scared, but it went pretty well. I got on the mic for a center that helps like rape and abuse victims. So like, tell me that that is not one of like the best charities to get up there and talk about and what they're going through, what the center does to help all these people that are emergency cases. And so don't even batted an eye hearing a different price,
Yeah.
So if I do a crank it hole and it's all prizes, then I do at the banquet, I'm getting say 10 people at $200. That's $2,000. Am I giving them another $1,000 worth of prizes, or am I giving $1,000 in cash?
If you're doing anything at the banquet, for Cancun, it's a 50-50 split. So if you raised on or just at the banquet, say $2,000 and the charity gets $1,000, and then you're also paid off that $2,000.
Yeah.
And that's on the decks, you guys know too. So I was really happy that the decks do spell it out really clearly for both the charity and for us. Because it's, it's different pays and stuff like that now.
Okay.
Did that answer your question though? Okay, good.
It does. Thank you. It does.
Does anybody else have any other things that they would like to share or bring up at all that could do with anything? Booking tournaments, Krank Golf sales, more banquet stuff.
Yeah. Any questions? This is an open forum.
I would like to hear if people are selling or promoting the savings passes, because when I'm on the course and giving my pitch, you've got like 12, 14 seconds really to get their attention. Okay, maybe 30 at the most for people who are really good. Okay, so you're throwing all these things at them, whatever. And then you talk about the savings pass, 1.7 million deals, da 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 da, and they still think that they're in a raffle for the Cancun trip. And I say, no, I'll give it to you. And they're, what? You're going to give it to me? Well, how does that work out? But the savings pass seems to fall by the wayside. Anybody who's good at selling, Michael, or somebody who's done a lot of the savings passes, because I haven't had that much luck with the savings passes. I'm sorry.
I haven't done one yet
either. Leslie, when we were in Iowa together a couple weeks ago, we gave out, I think it was like a total between the AM and PM shotgun, a total of like 79 Cancun trips. And then I think it was like 30 something savings passes. So like more than double. And it could have been 20 something, honestly. But what I have been trying to do better of, just because my dad wanted me to try, is at the $50 level, they get the savings pass. And then for $100, they get Cancun and the savings pass. So trying to stick to that, I don't know. I feel like that might help in some ways, and maybe people will start asking more questions about the savings passes. But yeah,
and some people do choose the savings pass too, right, Audra? I mean, we were in Iowa. People were like, hey, at this point, I don't really want to go to Cancun. I'd rather have the savings pass, and it sounds really cool. So I'd rather have that anyway. But some people do choose the savings pass. I mean, it is getting out there, but Cancun is still the number one thing that people are choosing right now.
I get a few, but not many. I mean, you're talking about, if I do 30 Cancun passes, I do 1 or 2 savings passes. And it's only that, I'm not going to go to Cancun. I don't like Cancun. And, I'm in Arizona. It's, Mexico it's $200 flight. It's not far.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a big difference. I just wondered, because they're great. They're really good. I mean, there's, the product itself is really good, and you could use it for a long time. And a lot of time, the people who do the Cancun trips, they come up to me if I see them at another tournament, and I say, oh, how did it go? Did you go to Cancun? No, they called me, but, I still haven't decided. I said, well, you have to decide within 18 months or something like that. You got 18 months, you got 6 months to decide, whatever. So you better get on it. Okay, but there doesn't seem to be any big pressure to do it.
That might be good for us. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like they're ultimately helping the charity, whether, like, no matter what they did,
Sure.
Because we're in California, we see a lot of these people coming there. Oh yeah, I got one. And I encourage them to please take the trip, because on the back end, when they do take the trip, our hero program gets a donation from iLifestyle in Cancun. So you are not only just helping this charity, but you're also helping our veterans and our first responders who suffer from PTSD and those other programs that we provide. So please take the trip. We really want you to go. And they're like, no way, I didn't know that. Like, that's cool. Because they don't hear everything. Like, you're telling them everything, but they don't hear it all. You know what I mean? Especially on a Krank hole.
And really fast, Ryan has his hand raised politely. It's probably hard to get through with some of us. Ryan, what's your question?
Yeah, it wasn't really in the flow of conversation anyway, so interrupt. But I'm pretty new, so is the savings pass the same thing as the virtual gift bag?
They are different. That's a great question. And the virtual gift bag, I don't know, I think we've left it up to like the reps, right, Leslie, if they're even pushing those anymore. I still put them out, but that's because when I book events, I tell them that if somebody comes through our hole and they donate anything, then they get one of those and they're added in for closest to the pin. But really we're trying to get even all the discounts and stuff that were on the virtual gift bag onto the savings pass.
That's right.
Yeah, because I tried telling people about it and like most people didn't even care. Like they would like donate like $5 or something, like because I told them like we could give you this if you donate anything at all, you know, instead of like the $25 or the $50 donations. And most people were like, I don't care. I was like, okay. So
and that's okay. That's okay. And don't worry, because we're in the midst of shifting all of that to the savings pass anyway. And as a new person, don't worry about it. There's a lot of people that are right there with you that don't understand that we are in the midst of shifting away from our virtual gift bag into the savings pass only. So as you become more familiar with our programs and the savings pass, you'll kind of understand that a little bit.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I did have another question in the chat, Audra. Jason is a little bit sick and can't talk well. Do you know how long the Krank drivers are going to be $3.99 on the Krank website? And I did answer. I logged in as you because I couldn't get the link to work, so I answered him.
Okay. I feel like you're the person to answer that question anyway.
Yes, so we do not know how long that's going to be listed on the website, but that doesn't matter. Nobody should be worried about that. The best thing to do is to tell and sell everybody the hero drivers, because they were always valued at that $6.99 price point, and that's not going to change anyway. And our hero drivers are the fire drivers, and they're better because of the paint. So please always remember that our hero drivers have the flag on them. A portion goes to the hero program, and they are valued at $6.99. So we cannot control what goes on at Krank Golf. We have tried to control what goes on at Krank Golf, and that is not something that we can control. Even though, you know, Jay is an owner in Krank, you know, he is the vice president. There's just no way that the president of Krank Golf is going to let that go. So no matter what it says on the website, we have no control. So it's best to just let that go.
And Leslie might have mentioned it, but what's really cool about the hero, you know, edition driver is that one, it helps out our hero program anytime you sell them, but two, it's the exclusivity of them. You can't call Krank Golf and have access to one. You can't find them online. Like their only chance of ever seeing one and buying one is for meeting one of you guys out there with that driver in hand. Or you can post on your social media page. But outside of that, the only way for them to purchase one is through an elite rep. So keep that in mind too, because it's exclusive. Yeah. Cool.
That's correct. Yep.
Well, dude, it's Lil Wayne on Tinder. Swipe left. Dude,
any other questions right now?
I don't know. Had we talked some time back about maybe doing dinner galas for different charities? Like, without necessarily, I mean, I love St. Jude, right? I love St. Jude, and I love another group that does reconnaissance for traffic kids. Like there's two of them that I really would love to do something with, to work with, to do a fundraiser for them. But then I kind of feel like I'm planning the fundraiser myself. But like, I don't know if there's like if you had something that you felt passionate about and you wanted to do a charity like event for them, how would you do that? Like, how would you approach that?
So to be honest, so this has been coming up a lot with my Florida team, wanting to do either expos or some sort of like gala, or even like a 5K run got brought up that has like a big, dinner afterward.
Yeah.
And that's where, to be honest, even though it might be something that that is not tied into golf at all, I would pitch doing all three of those live banquet programs. I think that the American flag on the driver will sell at something like that. A lot of like galas and banquets have items of all different types, and sports or whatever it could be there. The Cancun trips will definitely do well at something like that. And then if you set up the savings pass ahead of time with that charity, oh my gosh. But it all relates back to, and what I've been telling any of like my golf tournaments for their banquets is, hey, do you have somebody that isn't shy, and is like good on the mic that can come up with me? And so then that way we can tag team it. So then if I'm telling all like the ins and outs of Cancun and why, it's valued at anywhere from 800 to 2,800, depending on the resort, how cool and valuable that option is to go to Cancun, but then they can bring home what they're fundraising for and how amazing that charity is and who they're helping. Then us together can really like make sure that banquet or any of those like auction items sell for a lot of money. But
So
I would do
basically,
that. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So basically just like say find a marathon for whatever the charity is. And then if they find out if they have a dinner afterwards, and if they do, say, hey, we can offer auction for Cancun trips, for our savings pass. We'll explain what it is, and maybe auction off a couple, 2-3 crank drivers, like that.
Yeah, I would for sure. And just see if they have somebody who can also get on the mic with you. I'm assuming that they already have people set aside for that sort of event.
For auctions, I hope so.
Yeah. So I think it might go even better than what would happen at a banquet for a tournament.
Right.
The only other thing outside of that would be expos. I know David Wills and his team have done a couple of them, and I think that they've had success. They set up at like Walmart's, Home Depot. They've done a huge golf expo in Texas as well. And so we have been talking about exploring some ideas in Florida as well, and getting booths that have, we're hoping to set up like a net or a simulator, and hopefully piggyback with like another organization so that we can do like a spin wheel to have them win, trips to Cancun or discounts on the drivers or a virtual gift bag, because those are pretty much free to us outside of printing them on the card. And just different like items that maybe we get donated beforehand. But I think that those could go really well, especially if you had like a little boombox or a way of like projecting your voice, getting like the crowd over, having music out there. People can try out the drivers and make it exciting,
Yeah.
So we're open. And so if you guys have any ideas or want to try a couple things out, call us and we'll get you in touch with like the right people. When Greg was asking me on my Florida team, we got David Wills on a call and he gave us all kinds of ideas for an expo. So we'll connect you with the right person who we think would be the best to help you with whatever type of event.
If we do, like San Diego does the county fair, Mike knows about that. Is it worth like getting a booth there? Like that's probably really expensive, huh, Mike?
It's extremely expensive.
That's what I was thinking. Darn it.
So the way Greg had mentioned doing an expo is he's retired Navy. And so he knows a lot of the guys that have to sit at those booths, and they're always hoping and praying that people just walk over to them. So by piggybacking with them with our Hero Edition driver and tying in way more golf related items, but the hero program especially, he felt that we could probably either like split the booth or might even get the booth for free with them and make it way cooler. We're actually helping them, bring way more people over to them, that they can talk to as well.
Guys, it'd be fun to do the golfing, the putting, the little travel putting green thing where they have to get in there to win a trip to Cancun or something, get the hole in the right one or something.
Leslie and I love putter ball.
We love putter ball. Yes.
That's good. Okay.
Oh yeah. Any other topics or anything that we can help like go over, or even just setting up, I don't know, like calls to help you book more tournaments, or setting up another day to go around with somebody at courses, just pretty much anything at all.
Anybody want to get into the solar programs?
Right?
That's so hard to fit the solar, the savings pass, the Cancun trips, the donations, without just completely losing them and having men on golf courses, they'll just turn or walk away. They're like done.
My only thought to bringing up the solar, I would almost wait until you see them all walking back to their cart to leave. I think that would be like the one and only time, if there isn't any sort of backup, obviously, to be like, hey, really fast before you guys take off, how many of you guys own your own home? Okay, well, we just, came out with a new hero solar project, and anybody who, gives me like their information and gets on a phone call with our solar partners, they're actually going to double your donation today, or match your donation, I should say, today. And so I think that you might be able to write down a couple of them like pretty quickly, but I would probably wait until the end, because they're usually, filling out all kinds of stuff with Cancun. They're trying to figure out how far away like the shot is, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, I would refer back to all of the hero the solar project stuff with all of our workshops that we're doing. I would go back to those and not even go back to this for that. I don't know, Audra, what do you think? Like this, I would just keep that kind of separate from this call, just to, we can answer questions, but going through the whole thing right now, I don't think is probably necessary.
Yeah, I just wanted to see when people were actually approaching the golfers for that. And I agree that doing it after they're done with Cancun or going for their shots, like you say, walking back to their carts, that's probably the best idea. But do you utilize the tabletop display to get their attention on that when they're going back, or do you just not even?
I'd probably replace the virtual gift bag one with the Hero Solar Project one.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool. Good idea.
Okay. I'm gonna.
So if we were doing like a Walmart setup, right? I don't know who did Walmart here. Who said that they were doing Walmarts?
I had mentioned that David Wills's team sets up at Walmarts and at Home Depots. They got like some okay with them.
So I would be curious if they could input on how they went about, getting permission from the stores on number one. And then number two, if we do get that and we set up like in front of a Walmart, do we do our pop-up tent or just a table or stuff like that? And should we just like for the table, I'm thinking like sections of the table, solar, like Cancun trips, savings pass, and like, of course our little information about our men and women that we're helping and stuff like that. So it's a new concept. I would not mind at all doing it, because that's something I could do even like when I get done with a hero course or something like that, come home and like have it arranged to where I'm going and setting up there and
on the way home. Yeah. How they got the permissions, but essentially it's going to be a setup that's really close to a Hero Day setup. One thing that I believe they tried after we talked was adding in the spin wheel. so that people were
Yeah.
drawn to come up to spin to win something. And so they had to donate in order to spin, but I don't know that for sure. So I would love to follow up with David and
Yeah.
have him like speak on what worked and what didn't for our next team call, maybe.
Spin wheel. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Guess Amazon carries everything, huh?
Right?
I know
Yeah.
Dean Lovelace. Yeah, Dean down in Tucson uses the spin wheel for his setup actually, and it
Oh,
works
okay.
really well. So that's kind of cool. So
Wow.
I'd say yeah, and it does vary from Walmart to Walmart, but all you have to do is go in and talk to them and say, hey, you know, I'm with a veterans organization. This is what I'd like to do. This is who we are. And that's really all you have to do is get that permission. So
I
Okay.
actually have, I can butt in here. I have quite a bit of experience doing setups at a Walmart. I used to work for the Milwaukee Tool Company.
Oh,
They
I
have
love
a
Milwaukee.
they have a brand that is Walmart exclusive. It's called Heart. So it's kind of the same thing. You just go in, you ask for the store manager. If you can't get the store manager, you get a coach, or at the very least a team lead, and they'll run it up. You might have to try a couple times because Walmart employees can be, you know, a little bit like goldfish. They'll forget because they're busy doing something. But the goal is to get to a store manager, and really they have pretty much autonomy over their store. Like there's not a lot of clearance that they have to go through. You just have to tell them like when you want to do it, where you're going to set up. If they're mostly concerned about, are you going to have any like product out in
Okay.
front of the store, especially if it's going to be anything that's from a Walmart UPC. That's going to be mostly what they're concerned about, but they tend to be pretty cooperative for the most part. Of course, it depends, like you said, it depends store to store. If you're in a worse area, or, you know, some Walmart managers will just be kind of like sticklers. But they tend to be very cooperative when it comes to, they tend to be pretty cooperative when it comes to, you know, setting up events like this.
Hey,
That's
maybe
nice.
we
Good to
should
know.
look at like filling the rest of like our week of Veterans Day with something
Yeah.
like this, maybe as like a goal, you know. I mean, obviously if people on the team are interested in something like this, I think that'd be pretty cool to do like Walmart on, I don't know, if Veterans Day is on a Monday, and I don't know this off the top of my head, but say that was like our your day to be on the golf course, and then Tuesday through the end of the week, you just flip flop between like Home Depots and Walmarts, you know, that you've set up. That might be really cool to actually fundraise for
would
the
be.
entire week for Veterans Day. You know,
Yeah.
really, yeah, I was on the same exact page, Audra. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you so much
I
for
like
that feedback, though, Ryan. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
to know.
that's gold. Thank you.
And it makes sense because I mean, gosh, how many times do you guys walk out of Walmart? I'm a Walmart shopper, and there's some sort of booth asking you for something. I'm like, so actually, now that I think about it, that they probably allow people all the time, you know?
Yeah, it's so true.
Good to know.
Now
Thanks,
we
Ryan.
know.
That's awesome.
Well, let's see, where are we at for time?
Can I ask something real quickly? You
You're
know
not
that
allowed, Michael. You only got 3 questions, and you already went for
I
your
passed my limit a long time ago, didn't I?
Just kidding.
All right. Anyway, I have a lot of caps and things like that. I do hero days, go out and I sell caps. Okay. I have caps. If anybody in our team needs a cap, I have red, white, and blue caps. I'll show you. There's
Okay.
white, there's red.
What do they cost to get? What does it cost you to produce them?
Yeah. I buy like 10 or 20 dozen at a time. Okay. So the cost is really low for me. So I sell them on course for $30 a cap. I sell a lot of caps. I also have vice balls that I have monogrammed with our hero logo on it. They sell like hotcakes. I sell like in 3 months I could sell like 20 dozen or something like that. Okay. Yeah. If anybody needs a cap, please let me know. I sell them for my cost price, which is $15. I'll put them in an envelope, or if you get, a few, I'll put them in a box, whatever, and send them to you. if you're interested, okay? I mean, if you buy a cap yourself in a store or whatever, it's going to cost you $12, $14, and then to monogram or to embroider them for one person, one thing, it costs over $20. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're $15 a cap if you're interested. That's my cost price. Okay. If you're interested, they're fitted small, medium, and then the large, extra large.
And then
Michael,
sell
will
them
you
for 30.
put your contact information into the chat box, Mike? Thank you so
Oh.
much.
The other thing I was gonna ask, Mike, do you mind sending me a photo of the 3 caps and I'll post it in our group meet?
Yeah, sure. And I do Krank caps too. Krank has caps, but I don't do so many because, you know, I donate caps when I go to like the Crank It Hole. I have a Crank It Hole, especially someone I've worked with for several years. I used to do shirts, but it's too much inventory. I can't keep up with it. It's too, you got guys that are 4X and, you know, women that are, you know, extra small. It's just too much. So I don't do that anymore. But I do have good contacts and things. Don't go out and spend $40 or $50 on a golf shirt. I buy golf shirts for $10 and I get them embroidered. It costs another maybe $6 or $7 to get them embroidered. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Michael
cost
has
of
FaceTime me walking through the Antigua store to see what I wanted for him to embroider and send to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Michael's awesome.
So what do you think about having an online store that you could have a card with a Scantron for, right? I mean, a QR reader, and you could say, you know, we have a lot of products that we can offer to sell in order to help support our veterans, and a good portion of what you spend to purchase something goes to our men and women. Like, say, you know, like Mike said, the caps, you know, but you could also have like polos or, you know, just different things that you can think of, you know, I don't know.
that's a
Yeah,
great
so
idea.
Towels, I don't know.
like
If you caught me 20 years ago, it would have been great. But sweetheart, I'm ready. I'm on my last throws here, sweetheart. I'm just about ready to give it up. Mike looks great for his age, and I'm trying to. This will be my last couple of years. I'm sorry to say. So great idea. I'll help you, but no. You're
I'm just
you're
saying
20
how,
years
like, if
too
I
late.
wanted to do that, you could have a little card at like, but I'd be definitely interested in talking to somebody who knows how to set up a store and what prices, you know, like, do you double the price basically so that whatever your cost is, you double it? Is that?
So
I don't.
Terry, I'm so glad that
Maybe.
you're bringing this up. Leslie and I are probably both just like trying to keep our mouths closed, but we've been working on a clothing
Yeah.
line for the Hero program for a few months now. But we're just waiting
Oh,
on corporate approval to finally get it out
Oh,
there.
cool.
What's so nice is that I'm like, God, I was really trying to debate Leslie. I was looking
know.
at creative
go
outfit,
for it.
something
Come
going
on,
on.
let's hear it. Don't be
I
shy.
know. We're trying to keep our mouth shut, but
No,
we can't.
like I've been quiet for too many months now.
Trying to find that mute button.
Well, you
Right?
could even do it on an Amazon. You could even have your Amazon, you could even have those products on Amazon and maybe do a banner like on Facebook or things like
Yeah.
that, to where
We
you
have
can
a
really
couple host sites.
advertise. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple host sites that'll be really easy. The biggest thing is the drop shipping, because we don't want to deal with any of the shipping in house at all. So we'll most likely go with our friends at Eagle Promotions. They literally, like when I typed in and showed Leslie how many polos they had, just type in the word polo under their company. They have like 700
What?
types, let alone how many colors. So
Yeah.
they're huge. They're gonna help us with like an online store, storing it all and shipping it all for us for super, super low cost. But there was a couple items that we really, really liked that were like, how do I explain it? They are made at the same factory as like Hurley, Quicksilver, Volcom, a lot of like surf type brands. So their stuff feels amazing. A lot of it is like dry fit, super high quality. It just takes like 60 days to get those items. So I'm trying to weigh out whether we want higher quality and it takes longer, or if we want more items faster, because we'll probably blow through it honestly between our team and selling them, you know?
So if you
Yeah.
guys are ordering them corporately, are you going to give it to us for the same price? If we get it from you to sell on our stores, like
Right?
It's double the price.
like if Elite's
Yeah,
gonna have
right.
a massive Walmart type store with all this stuff, I don't want to like go by little chintzy corner shop,
Well, I'm sure we'll
But-
have a team discount and then like a full retail discount. But the idea is we think that anything with like a hero program logo is gonna sell.
Yeah.
Well,
we
that's what
get
I was
all the
thinking.
time.
Yeah.
Out on the holes and stuff, if people can buy our hats or whatever we might be wearing that day.
Yep.
Yeah, we think that it's gonna sell extremely well, and it's just gonna help the hero program that much more. So we're super excited, but we've been forced to wait. So hopefully that'll finish up by the end of the year.
So in other words, like you take my caps and put them where the sun don't shine. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You know what's so funny?
No, we want
I
your
hope that you're
cap.
gonna send me photos so I can get my team to buy them.
No,
Love
Mike.
I thought I heard somebody offer to buy them all from you, Mike.
I'll just keep going for you, Mike.
There you go. Thank you, Dean.
Oh my gosh.
I sold some to your mom, so you better be careful, Audra.
Hey, I was looking at all your colors. I'm like, I'm honestly gonna hit you up and see how many colors you have for the crank stuff, because I get all my crank ones dirty. I don't know why.
And then
I know.
Yes, I'm gonna.
I got the
I
red
need some
ones
caps.
out for the crank for the
I need
fire
those.
starters.
Well,
I
like
know.
that.
I
Need
need
some of
some
those.
more.
Oh, Isaac, it's you. I'm like, who's Big Poppy on our team call?
Oh, my bad.
And
Ah,
I literally
bad,
wrote that
that's
on my
that's my
team call notes.
nickname, my
Who's Big
bad.
Poppy? That's hilarious.
That was when I was. That was when I was over
Patio.
300 pounds.
love it.
Isaac, I'm so excited you're able to join the call all the way from Oahu. Are you at home today?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Nice. He's been traveling back and forth between Texas and Oahu, and the Johnstons get to Oahu today as well. So we're really excited
Yes.
for him to team up. Isaac has the next 3 days, right?
Yes.
As demo days at one of our new hero courses. So send him all the good vibes to fundraise for the hero program, sell those crank
Thank
drivers,
you.
and have some success at his first setup.
Congratulations.
So Isaac, when you get a minute, go stand on your roof and holler over to the Big Island. Say hi to my mom.
I will. I definitely will.
That's awesome, Isaac. Great job.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. Very excited. I think everybody's been itching over here, especially me coming back. I mean, it took a little bit longer, obviously, with the, getting the clubs. But I mean, other than that, I mean, everybody's just, there's so many people that are lined up, and it's such a good thing. And Kapolei, everybody's willing out here just to, they don't even care about monetizing. They just want people to get the golf clubs in their hands. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. And, and the good thing about it is for everyday golfers, right? So like, it's for everyday golfers. It doesn't have to be for professionals. So when these guys hit these and you hear it, and it's like, oh my gosh, these guys are like looking at me like, I told you, I didn't make it. I'm just telling you I'm just showing
It's
you
definitely
that awesome
for
it is.
everyday golfers. Like I don't even golf. Like Noelani knows I don't even golf. I've swung maybe like 10 times, and I got on the green with it. So
There you go.
I was like, of
Woo!
course nobody videoed it, right? But
Harry, I had
Nice.
you and Tracy in mind when I was throwing together those meetups, girlfriend, because I'm like, okay, we're gonna pull in Babes Golf and Sally, and we're gonna get some golf lessons for our girls on our teams.
oh my God, please, yes.
Yes,
Nice.
please.
Yeah.
Well, I can give lessons too.
Perfect.
You fly me over there, I'll take some lessons.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Hey, my wife works at American Airlines, so I get discounts. I fly for free.
I know, you're
There we
set
go.
up.
Love it.
Very blessed. Very blessed. But I can hook. But if you guys need some travel, let me know.
Oh, really-
Okay.
That's how you network. We take care of each other, right?
Absolutely. So moving forward, we haven't done this in a while, but we are going to set up for the next 4 weeks another workshop for anybody that needs help booking tournaments. We've had a wave of some newcomers come on, and so I feel like it's something like calling and booking tournaments. Our OGs can speak to this. It's something you just got to kind of figure out, and every single phone call is different. And so I'm gonna start running on Wednesdays for an hour and a half. You guys can join, via Zoom. I wanted to say join me. Leslie, how long is it supposed to use join me?
Oh my gosh.
Via Zoom. And just keep your phone on mute. If you guys have questions, just type it in the chat. But outside of that, I'm just gonna be calling a bunch of like tournament leads. You'll see what I send to them on Facebook. That's what I use primarily to find a bunch of tournaments. What I send them via email, which templates, how I flip through like my screen and just make sure I can blow through as many events honestly as possible in one sitting. And so I hope you guys will join, and if not, no big deal. It'll be going on every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, and they'll all be recorded, and we'll take the best pieces from those for our training videos and whatnot too. So
Perfect. Okay, I just had another idea. So, like, if corporate does this online store for just promotional products, like, whatever, the shirts, the shoes, whatever, with the flag on top or whatever, can we set it up to where we have our own QR codes so that when we sell something, when we send somebody there, we get the credit for whatever they purchase?
Yes.
I love that. Do like
absolutely
no
no problem.
Discount
Yeah.
code.
Yep, no problem. There's no problem with that. Absolutely.
And Leslie's like, oh.
I'm like, absolutely. I can answer before you even ask.
We have to look to Leslie for the answers. Like, or can you make it happen on the website?
I just sent a link via Instagram of where the golf course is gonna. They already posted the video, the Bryson one and everything like that. So you guys can take a look at it. I just posted it in the chat. It's on Instagram. So if you want to follow them, you can follow them. It's Copper Lake Golf Course. They're doing all the promotional stuff. So tomorrow when I'm there, pretty much, it's gonna be it'll be nice.
Okay. When people leave links and stuff in the chats on our Zoom calls, is there a way to like post them just copy and post them in the group me for later?
I can try right now. I'll try right now and see if it works.
Yeah, because that would be easier. Because by the time we hang up, I'm like, wait, and it's gone.
Yeah, hang on. Let me try right now. It's a good idea.
And so you guys know, I am the one that controls all of the Krank Golf, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Nice.
So, or I guess it's X now. I have to keep calling it X. Lance.
It's not Twitter anymore? Oh my God.
So,
okay.
I know it's not Twitter anymore. So if you guys have anything that you would want me to post that is Krank driven, it cannot just be EFS driven. It cannot just be hero program driven. But if it has Krank stuff in it, if you're out there promoting Krank, please send it to me. I will promote it on the Krank Golf stuff. Or send it to the Krank Golf, or post it and tag Krank Golf. I will see it and repost it, if you will. But just so you know that's me. You can send it to me or post it, and I will repost it. So
thank you.
Yeah. So what I did for that was I went ahead and did the Krank Golf link, obviously, so they could take a look at it. And then obviously anything that we use from GroupMe is what I use. I didn't use anything else. So yes.
Love it.
Ryan has a question too.
So, and it's a little off topic. I have a couple golf tournaments, specifically golf tournament that are charitable, but they're not, run by any organization. They're like just kind of internally organized and run. So for like leads like that, where would I do I organize that kind of thing on my own? Do I send that up through the CRM, or how would that process kind of look?
So for any like tournament leads, if you're trying to add any of our programs, I would definitely recommend just adding it on the CRM as like a tournament lead. And I can show you guys really fast. You'll also see it tomorrow on the call. I'm trying to move the power down a little bit lower. Let's see. So yeah, you would just add that as like a tournament lead on the CRM. And then if you need help, talking to those people, it doesn't matter like how organized they are or not. We're happy to talk to them with you. So then that way, we can get the best programs and the right amount of them added in. I have a new girl in California, Monica. She's seen us at events for years, and she was even like, okay, so which program should I tell her? I'm like, no, like can't even tell you that. So I need to get on the phone like with you and figure out how many golfers do they have? Do they have other fundraiser holes? Like what's like the setup for their day? And based off like honestly just the number of golfers and any other fundraiser holes, that'll tell you a lot. You know, whether or not you want to do like the cricket hole on one side and the TSP on the other side, or if you just want to push one of them, if they have hole-in-ones and all their par threes, you'll probably just want to do the cricket hole instead. All those sort of things. But yeah, I'm like, I'd be happy to help you.
Okay. Also, so do we have the opportunity to work with other charities? Because I know organizations like my old fraternity, for example, that has a specific charity that they raise money for every year. Are we able to like coordinate with that, or does it have to be like specific charities that we support?
No, it could be anything. So we do, you know, I've done like family fun outings that just happen to have like 100 golfers or 80 golfers. We've done corporate events, charities, football teams, churches, kind of anything really. The programs will always work the same. So say, for example, like on TSP, you give them 25%. Well, we never really know if that's going directly to the charity or organization or not. We give it to our contact person. So same thing.
Or turn it off so it'll defrost.
To do what they want with it, you know?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do any like three-way calls, I'd be more than happy to like help with anything. And then if not, then just let us know how it goes and how I can help you get that event on the CRM. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's everything I have. Does Leslie, do you have anything to like add or close with or anything?
Nope, I think that's all I had too. Thank you everybody for joining. This has been a super productive call, so thank you guys. If there are any other questions, please ask now. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
Cool. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, you guys, and I'll see some of you guys on tomorrow's call.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Audra.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.